there are a lot of developers out there who are very afraid to put sex appeal in their video games. They feel like they have to masculinize the female characters they're working on, which of course doesn't really sell. And now the First Descendant developers are saying incorporating sex appeal is an art form, and I couldn't agree more. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I've streamed The First Descendant quite a bit, I've played it quite a bit, and I enjoy it, but I also understand that these developers have not created a very positive situation for themselves. They were very slow to update content and to either put new characters in the game and put different maps and modes. They really dropped the ball when it came to actually giving players more of the game. I think that they've done a really great job with their designs, and that's cool. And I do think that that is important, but I don't think the First Ascendant is definitely a major win for them, though I do still agree with this opinion and this stance that they have, and I feel like it is important to highlight it because we are living in a time where so many developers are afraid to put attractive female characters in their games, whether it's because higher ups at studios are saying, no, 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 this doesn't work with our new strategy to try to target a modern audience. Maybe it's because these people genuinely hate the female form and they don't think that sex appeal is an art form, but I certainly do. So following the announcement of the First Descendants Bayonetta crossover coming on November 6th, the developers at Nexon disclosed that they are working on several collabs with other popular IPs. These crossover projects will include new cosmetics and content, all of which are designed to align with the First Descendants aesthetic and gameplay. Now, I think that this looks absolutely phenomenal. I love Bayonetta, and I think that she looks so stunning here and so gorgeous, and you love to see it, especially when AAA Western developers are so afraid of showing a very attractive female. So in a recent interview with GameSpark, the producer and the director talked about their criteria for deciding the First Descendants collabs. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of games that spam collabs at you all the time, like Fortnite, for example, but I still will support a very strategic partnership like in Stellar Blade with Nier. I thought that that was really nice. The Nikkei and Stellar Blade collab because they're from the same studio. I think that that is nice. And in this case, I think that Bayonetta fits in perfectly. So it says, aside from being popular, a crossover IP must also share the First Descendants' strong sense of speed and action. While these criteria hold true for the game's Nier Automata and Bayonetta collabs, it just so happens that the developers were also big fans of these IPs. They talk about how, for example, look at Bunny. The initial concept for the character was simply someone who can run fast. From there, we thought that gives off a rabbit-like image, and that's how they ended up creating her, and things like don't show the face but keep the outfit revealing. They're meticulous about every little aspect. Now, according to the developers, incorporating sexiness is treated as an art form among their team, and it's something they put into practice when working on the First Descendant. And I think that this is just a really good mindset in general. If this is the aesthetic you are looking to go for, you have these characters who are like the peak of humanity. And I say this all the time, I don't want to play a game as a land whale. I don't want to play a game looking like the most disgusting fat tub of lard possible, and that's kind of the mindset that Western devs have at this point. But I think that there are so many amazing devs out there who really want to, first of all, give customers good content, good looking characters, but also we have developers in places like Japan and South Korea who are just looking to make characters they also appreciate. And I do genuinely believe that sex appeal is an art form, and it is extremely important because not every character in every single game has to be a bombshell, but I do generally think that most characters should look the part. If they are running around at the freaking speed of light, right, they should look very fit and very toned. And if they are doing something like, I don't know, lifting 1,000 pounds with their pinky, yeah, they probably should have muscles. And attractive attractive characters do sell. Sexy does still sell. And it's refreshing to not have to hear about how, oh, the developers were very mindful about the current day and modern sensibilities. That is total and complete BS. And again, even though The First Descendant isn't necessarily the best game ever, and it's not the strongest selling game ever, I do still really like the fact that they are not shying away from the character designs they imagined because they are worried about offending people and, bothering individuals' delicate sensibilities. They're just creating what they like and what they believe their audience is going to like. Now, of course, the First Descendant team are no strangers to backlash over the fact that they have stuck by their art style. The First Descendant had announced plans to add jiggle physics, which of course are in the game now, and that prompted outrage from critics who said gamers are the most pathetic incel losers there are, which I think is so hilarious because it's okay when they sexualize or objectify a male character, and it's fine for them when they sexualize, I don't know, a female rapper and they say, "Slay Queen, you're so strong and independent." But when it boils down to a man appreciating a fictional female's beauty, oh no, guys, that's too far. You're a pathetic incel loser chud, which of course I just think is a really disgusting mindset in general. There are plenty of females out there who like these types of characters. There are plenty of men out there who like these types of characters. At the end of the day, they're fictional. They're pixels on a screen. It's not hurting anyone to look at a pretty lady. There were people with all sorts of rainbow flags in their profiles saying female characters shouldn't have aspects specifically just so that they're sexy or for fan service. Sexualizing women is never okay. That isn't a woke claim. It's a fact. It's not a fact to me, so that means that it's not a fact. It's an opinion, you loser. It's always the shitty games that need bouncing tits to be relevant. How about they focus on making an actual good game, not garbage with tits? I wouldn't say that this is the best game ever, but I also wouldn't say that it's garbage. And of course, they don't actually care about if it's good or not. They simply care about being able to attack it. Incel's version of Destiny. Oh yeah, and how's Destiny doing? That's right, it's dead because Bungie sucks. This is why I almost never tell people I like video games, because gamers are the most pathetic incel losers there are. It's so embarrassing. You know what's so embarrassing is you're trying to act like I'm not like the other guys, because half the population plays video games. Keep that in the back of your mind when you're making dumb posts like this on social media. So these developers are definitely no strangers to backlash over the fact that they create designs of female characters they like, and they also create really great male character designs. But of course, these people aren't going to bring that up because it doesn't fit the narrative they're trying to push. So I'll be keeping my eye on this to see if they make any other statements. But the developers are saying that incorporating sex appeal is an art form, and I completely agree. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.